So this is it guys, after months and months of waiting and expecting the reveal, we just got the first teaser trailer for Black Ops Cold War, after Geeky Pastimes and his team managed to solve the last stage of the PawnTakesPawn Easter egg that the community has been working hard at for the last week. Big congratulations to them. This involved a hell of a lot of insanely complex cipher solving, which I'm far from an expert in, but I'm going to break down for you exactly how all of this happened, what happened with the PawnTakesPawn marketing bit by bit, and then we're going to get into the stuff about Black Ops Cold War and breaking down that trailer and what it means for the story of that game before we get into exactly what's going to be happening in Warzone to reveal this game. If you're not interested in any particular section of this video, there will be timestamps in the description for you to skip to. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'm sure most of you know about the PawnTakesPawn website by now, but for those of you who don't, I'm going to give you a quick catch up. Pretty much how we got this was YouTubers were sent Cold War era crates with projectors and projector slides containing parts of the Summit multiplayer minimap from Black Ops 4, leading to people investigating that map and actually discovering it had been updated in a few significant ways. We also had slides containing maps of various cities around the world numbered and some different types of codes. After realizing the maps pointed to the same cities that actually have international clocks in the map, people actually managed to line up specific color-coded slides with each clock, giving us the phrase, "Bish you were here." This is actually the name of a famous Russian v American chess game that happened back in the Cold War era. A second decoded phrase, again found by connecting slides to images within the map on certain screens this time, referred us to the 11th move within that game of chess, being Pawn Takes Pawn, from which people quickly discovered PawnTakesPawn.com, which was confirmed to be run by Activision, so we knew we were on the right track. Interestingly, this web domain was actually taken out all the way back in January, and the ciphers have existed in the Warzone files for months, so it's safe to say all this has been ready to go for a long time now, and it was delayed for God knows what reason. The homepage of the PawnTakesPawn site contained an old CRT TV, a VHS player, a phone, and some chess pieces. We were told that this site would be updated a few days later on the 14th, and that's when everything would really be kicking into motion. The day finally rolled around and we were given a VHS tape on top of the player that we could click on to put into the player and view on the site, which broke down various significant events of the Cold War ranging from 1961 to 1962. Day by day, this was actually updated to add 5 more VHS tapes, which describe more parts of the Cold War all the way up to 1981. Supposedly this game actually takes place in 1982, so that could very well just be to catch us up on our Cold War history. Those tapes also included numbers that would pop up at random times throughout the video, along with a location and a code to enter into a locked room in the Modern Warfare Warzone map. Those rooms contained various pages of 6 different cipher puzzles. However, thanks to data mining, the Warzone stuff wasn't really too important since we already really had these. The 6 different types of ciphers we actually used for those interested was a chemical cipher, lambda, venona, nick stack, nick charge, and PSG. Anyway, each of the tapes on the site were updated daily. As new ones were unlocked, we got new versions of the existing ones, which gave us more numbers. Each of these tapes was actually color coded to one of the ciphers, so we knew which set of numbers we needed to use for which cipher. This made it quite tricky actually, because even though we were following on daily, noting numbers and stuff, nothing could really be achieved till the final day when we actually had all the numbers and all pages of the ciphers in our hand. 5 of the ciphers resulted in a 24-letter solution that really said nothing. It was just a big string of confusing letters. But one of them, the lambda cipher, gave us a phone number, which when called required a 6-digit code, which we actually got from the PawnTakesPawn site. The code was sat there, and when you inputted it in, you actually got our 24 letters from there. Again, just a big string of letters that really meant nothing. Last but not least, we got given a new page. This was the cracker that got us over the finish line. PawnTakesPawn/11th hour. We were given a couple more pages throughout the marketing campaign on this little poster note here on the monitor that actually listed off different URLs. Firstly, we got Tangled Web that kind of just explained how the whole thing was going to work, and then we got EMC squared. Both of these are references to famous chess games, as well as obviously Einstein's theory of relativity with EMC squared. Anyway, what that page actually did was it was updated daily to let us know the date of the next update, and most importantly, it was crossed out when we had completed everything we'd been given for that that day, so it kind of let us know when we'd achieved everything that we could achieve. Anyway, on that 11th hour page, it gave us a whole list of timestamps, saying timing is everything. It really got us thinking, but eventually led to people looking into the timestamps within the tapes where we were given particular numbers. Anyway, from there, we had to look at which letter was worked out from the number that was shown at that timestamp, and that eventually led us to a huge string of letters, which when certain letters were actually removed from that sentence, created this. A Cold War isn't fought on a battlefield, the time bomb is ticking, with every second the disaster is edging closer and closer, the danger is real. This ended up actually being a quote in the trailer that we got. Now the important part of this wasn't actually that sentence, since obviously we got it in the trailer, but it was actually the letters that had to be removed to make the spaces within it. The text that was in those spaces converted to /play the game, find the truth. From the slash, it was obvious this was a web page, which took us to PawnTakesPawn.com /play the game, find the truth, which contained our trailer, Know Your History, which did obviously tell us the reveal was going to be coming August 26th, being Wednesday, in Verdansk. And that's pretty much the story of PawnTakesPawn. Really exciting stuff, one of the best viral marketing campaigns COD has ever done. Some insane puzzle solving here. Again, big shout out to everyone who was involved in that. Geeky Pastimes, Smart Guy, NoahJ. There were so many people keeping up with the solving of this, including me and my team. Anyway, it's been a huge amount of fun for the community. But without further ado, let's get right into breaking down that trailer and what it means for the Cold War storyline. So anyway, the trailer is mainly made up from footage from a real interview with a former KGB agent, Yuri Bezmenov, sorry if I butchered that name, about the destabilization of foreign governments. I'm going to go over some of the key points from what's shown in the trailer and see what we can make about the actual story of Black Ops Cold War from it. The first key point he mentions is about a Soviet spy named Perseus, who has infiltrated Western intelligence with the goal of interfering with the US intelligence to ensure the Soviets dominated the arms race that was going on at the time. To this day, we still don't know who Perseus was. This is obviously going to tie into the story. It's likely going to be some kind of Black Ops character we already know, someone like that. Who knows who this is going to be. I'll probably do another video on this down the line to further discuss this topic, because I've got so many theories for that. The second section goes through the various stages of the Russian plan known as active measures to bring down the US, including demoralization, which he says will take 15 to 20 years, destabilization, bringing down the economy, foreign relations, defense systems, etc. Crisis, where the country pretty much just falls apart. Normalization, where people just accept this is the way things are now, and politicians are elected making all kinds of promises they can't keep when actually they're not really doing anything. It then says the game is going to be inspired by true events as expected, where we'll experience a more fictional take on events that actually took place, to give the game a bit more, well, gameplay, since realistically not much actual combat really happened in the Cold War. Anyways, we then end off with our tagline that we already had teased in Warzone: know your history or be doomed to repeat it. This likely refers to what's going on in Modern Warfare, where the game's story is pretty much building up to a second Cold War against Russia. So it's likely that these two are going to be very strongly linked together. We already know they're taking place in the same universe, so for the first time ever we have a Call of Duty connected universe, and I think that's just mad. We end off our trailer with our logo and title reveal. We already knew it was Black Ops Cold War from leaks, and we'd already seen the logo from a leaked Doritos promotion, but anyway, the exciting part is it confirms the reveal is happening August 26th, next Wednesday, in Verdansk, meaning in some way or form this is going to be happening within Warzone, whether that be through a live event, or maybe something playing on the TVs in Stadium, or maybe the game will actually be interrupted with a cutscene or a trailer or some kind of thing. Really not too sure what's going to happen there. I hope if they do a live event it will be in a separate playlist where you can't be killed, just to do it Fortnite style so that you really just can't be shot and miss the entire event. There is files in the game that were data mined referencing Project Zeus reveal, infiltration and gulag, meaning the actual drop-in sequence and some kind of version of the gulag to go with it. Project Zeus, by the way, is obviously the codename for Black Ops Cold War, if you didn't already know that. Anyway, this makes it sound like it's going to be its own mission or location in some way. Really not too sure how this is going to work, but hopefully we'll get more details between now and Wednesday. Anyway, this is seemingly the big Warzone live event we've been talking about for months now. Modern Warzone has been telling us for ages that his sources have been telling him that the game will be revealed in Warzone, and well, he was dead on the mark. The extremely reliable Chinese leaker Victor over on Twitter has actually said that to his knowledge, the trailer will be shown as a part of a reveal containing both campaign and multiplayer, but he's unable to say right now what he knows about the new Zombies mode, but hints that the game is lined up for a November release. Man, I can't wait to see new Zombies on this engine. You know me, I'm a Zombies fan to heart, and I really can't wait to see the next generation version of it. There are a few different things actually within the Warzone files that do hint to what this reveal could contain. For one, there's audio files of the Ascension numbers from Black Ops 1 being read out by both Price and a Russian voice. So who knows what role they'll play. Maybe we'll see that happen before Wednesday, where we start to hear these numbers playing and we don't know what it means. Really not too sure how they're going to play into things in this whole teaser kind of campaign. Secondly, something we've known for a while is that there's a fully voiced and recast Woods operator in the files ready to be released. Woods obviously being the key protagonist from Black Ops 1, and he's going to play a major role in this reboot too. It's possible he'll come to the store, or maybe as a Cold War pre-order bonus. Interestingly, the intel mission for the next Warzone update is actually referred to in the files as Find Woods, so it's possible we could actually have an old man Woods playing more into the Modern Warfare storyline than we realise. Anyway, don't be surprised if we see that mission released next week, just in time for the event. Who knows, really, maybe a little bit after, maybe at the same time. We really don't know what exactly it's going to mean. But I don't think that trailer is all that will be happening next week. In the final Warzone secret room that we got access to on the last day of the teasers, that being Bunker 10, it actually contains a huge missile ready to launch, and this is believed to actually be what is known as an ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. Basically, it's designed to fire at any place around the globe. For ages we've been talking about the nuke in Bunker 11 launching, but realistically this one makes a lot more sense to fire. Doesn't seem like it's nuclear, but it is a lot bigger, so it'll look a lot more impressive as an event, and also it's in a missile silo ready to launch. This is actually directly below the park, so we'd likely see the park statue thing opening up to launch the missile. It could be super cool to see. Interestingly, August 26th, the day of reveal, was the same date back in 1957 that Russia successfully completed their first missile test that would be capable of being fired into any area of the world. Obviously, this caused a lot of fear in the US at the time. What's the chances that the last bunker they gave us happens to contain a massive missile that Russia successfully fired for the first day on the day of this reveal? Either that missile is launching next week, or this is a hell of a coincidence. Either way, Wednesday is sure to be hype, and I'll be streaming it here on the channel. Anyway, with that guys, I've pretty much explained everything I wanted to explain. We've talked about so much in this video, between the Ciphers, the PawnTakesPawn stuff, the live event, the trailer. It's been a hell of a video. A lot of work has been going into this, so I really would appreciate if you drop a like, show your support, leave a comment down below letting me know what you're expecting from the Warzone reveal event next week, and be sure to subscribe for more Call of Duty content. Bye!